The players don't fear him, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, when the players do not fear the head coach, by default, they don't respect him. And that's the problem with the Florida Gators. Zero passion, zero fire, and it's sad. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great weekend. Hope all of you having a great Sunday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, I know why you're here. You know why you're here. We got to talk about Billy Napier. This man has got to. I'm talking about he has got to be fired. What are we doing, Timothy and Bobby? What are we doing? I tweeted this out earlier. Feel free to follow the Twitter if you don't already. I'm confused. Why does Billy Napier still have a job? He should have been fired by this point. I don't get it. There should have been an ESPN update 30 minutes max after the game stating the athletic director has fired Billy Napier or somebody. Strickland, which is the AD, he likes Billy Napier. They're friends. I've also seen some people stating that Strickland's job is solely dependent upon Billy Napier's success. Maybe that ties into it a little bit. If he fires Napier, that is him admitting, you know what? I made a big mistake hiring this guy, and then he'll be next. But to me, that doesn't matter. Your job as the athletic director, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. You can't change the fact you hired Billy Napier, but what you can change is getting rid of him today. One of my favorite quotes and phrases is this right here. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you know when the best time to plant an apple tree was? 20 years ago. Do you know when the next best time is? Today, the present, right now. In this analogy, the best time to fire Billy Napier was last year or 2 years ago. The next best time is today. You can't change the past, but you know what you can change and you can control? The present. I don't care that Strickland's made some bad decisions in the past, just make the right ones from this point on. Will he do that? Probably not, but that's my 2 cents. And my stance on Napier, since he has gotten the job at Florida, has been the same since day one. If you've been watching the channel for the past 3 or 4 years, you know how I feel about him and this Florida football program under him. Ironically enough, and you can't even make this crap up, on Thursday, I made a video titled, feel free to check out that video for yourself if you want to, Florida is in for a rude awakening. And we've seen what has transpired within the past 24 to 48 hours. And here's my thing, right? I've said this for years. I will continue to say it until the day he is fired. Billy Napier is a nice guy. I bet he's a great dude. I'd probably enjoy watching some games with him or talking to him in public. I'm sure he's cool to golf with. The players like him. But here's the thing. Everything I just listed off and named, it has nothing to do with coaching. He's a terrible coach in the SEC. Number one, not SEC material. Number two, he's not Florida material. You know what Florida needs? An a-hole of a head coach. The best coaches of all time have all been a-holes. Or at least they were a-holes when they needed to be. Don't let anybody try to tell you otherwise. Nick Saban, when he was in his prime, he was a straight up a-hole on that field. You know what Napier is? The nice guy. Way too soft. The players don't fear him, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, when the players do not fear the head coach, by default, they don't respect him. And that's the problem with the Florida Gators. Zero passion, zero fire, and it's sad. If you're a Florida fan watching this video, let me know in the comment section. Who has more fire in them? Me might be great in the man cave making this video right now, or Billy Napier? It's me, and that's sad. Why am I more pumped up and fired up about this than Napier? Can someone riddle that to me? And here's another thing. When players don't fear the head coach, they don't respect him, they do whatever they want. You saw that player spit in that guy's face? That falls back on discipline. Napier's teams have always been, go back and watch them, last year, the year before, undisciplined because they don't care about the repercussions. They don't fear this dude. When you are not scared of somebody, you don't care what the consequences are. Go back to those early, I'm talking about 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 Alabama days with Nick Saban. Craziest thing ever. You had 6'7", 300-pound monsters literally terrified of 5'7" Nick Saban. They were terrified of that man. Those guys were so scared to mess up, and this is how scared they actually were. Alabama teams, if they scored a touchdown, got a first down, like players do nowadays, celebrate? No. Bama players never celebrated. They were coached to hand the ball to the ref and sit your butt on the sideline. Urban Meyer, I know he's a shady individual and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that too much, but when it comes to coaching, he is one of the best college football coaches of all time. There's no doubt about it in my mind. The guy knows how to win. He knows what it takes. He did it at Florida, did it at Ohio State. He is a ruthless leader, and at Florida, it was dang near dictatorship, but for some players, you needed to be that way. It was his way or the highway, and the only thing Urban Meyer cared about wasn't just winning, but dominating your opponent. Urban Meyer was crazy. I'd go as far as to calling him a psycho, and guess what? The minions, which are the players in this analogy, they take on the personality of the head coach. So you know who was also psycho? Those Florida football teams. The Florida football teams now take on the personality of Billy Napier, and he's a soft guy. Therefore, the teams are soft. And that's what's so sad about it and more so frustrating if you're a Gator fan, because this team has the talent to compete with the big boys, but they can't because they're so poorly coached. I can't even believe this is a real stat. Billy Napier at Florida is now 20-20. You see it right here. 20-20. Is that the new standard there? I mean, by not firing him, you were telling me this is okay. It's acceptable. And to me, not a Florida fan, this is not Florida football. It's not. It's not the Florida I grew up watching, and it just can't be the new standard. I refuse to accept it. I've also said this for who knows how long. I can't get over the fact they fired Dan Mullen. Dumbest thing ever. I'm not going to sit up here and say Dan Mullen was coaching like Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, but good gosh almighty, what more was you asking out of the guy? I get it, he wasn't competing for championships, but he was doing just fine. I'm not going to speak on that too much because that's really a different conversation for a different day. We're here to talk about Napier. Well, actually, I'm going to go back to this. If you were trying to tell me Dan Mullen, what he was doing isn't acceptable, how is it acceptable to be doing what Napier's doing? That's my question. That's my dilemma with all this. I can kind of respect you saying, you know what, Mullen's not cutting it. We have a high standard. That's cool. But then you can't bring in a Billy Napier and let him do this because you're being a hypocrite. It's a double standard. Mullen went 31-9. I didn't even know it was this good, at least according to this report. 31-9? You fire him, Napier 20-20, still coaching. What are we doing? And here's my all-time favorite. Somebody saying, oh yeah, well, what's the point of firing him? Who's going to replace him? Buddy, anybody. It can't get worse than 20-20 at Florida, and a bunch of those wins are against cupcakes. Heck, I'd replace him at this point. Hire some random dude off of the street to replace him. It literally cannot get worse. You do understand and realize 20-20 is the floor. You can't go beneath the floor. Here's the last thing I'm going to say, and we're going to end off this video. I remember talking about this exact situation 2 to 3 years ago. It was in either his first or second year there at Florida. I was saying, yeah, they got to fire this guy. I just know when it's not going to work out, and it's not going to work out. And I remember somebody tweeting at me saying, well, Matt, that's not really fair. You got to give him some more time, which is a fair statement. My response to that was this right here. An ace is an ace, a spade is a spade. I don't need to see anything more. In other terms, to dumb this down if you don't know what I'm trying to say, I saw enough back then to just know what was going to happen in the future. Me personally, I didn't need to see 2 or 3 more years to tell you he wasn't going to cut her down at Florida. I guess some others out there did. Well, what do you know? He still hasn't figured things out, and it's only getting worse. So I'm going to end out the video with this. I'm asking you guys a question. What more does Florida, the AD, the president, whoever, need to see? And here's the bad thing about it. The longer you let this just continue to go on, the longer the rebuild's going to take. Hurry up and fire him 2 days so you can start the rebuild in the middle of the season. Because the season's already over. You're not competing for even a playoff spot. And if you're not competing for a playoff spot at Florida, I mean, what's the point? If you want to get to the real nitty-gritty, I said this in the Thursday video, you're going to struggle to make a bowl game or win 6, 7, 8 games. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to turn this shipwreck around this season. The season's over. It's already a waste. So let's speed up the process of getting to where Florida can be a legitimate playoff contender and a legitimate top 25 team year in and year out. Bama fans think they got it bad with DeBoer, but I tell you right now, DeBoer is 4 times the head coach of Billy Napier. He just doesn't know what he's doing. I can't even believe Napier's lasted this long, so who knows what's going to happen. They may let him finish out the year. Nothing's off the table at this point. I don't have a clue what's going to happen. Are you waiting to see him get blown out by Miami or LSU? Maybe they are. And let me throw this out there while I'm thinking about it. I don't care if he upset them. You still got to fire this guy. He's not the right fit. Many more things I could say. We'll end it off here before I get too carried away. Let me know your thoughts down below. But